I'm pushing the stream button. Okay. Okay, let's go and put you right there. Full screen. Okay. We are live, but I'm going to give people a few minutes to get here. So, hey, let me see. Let me make sure I am live. Let me make sure. All right. Am I live? Okay. Okay.
I don't see it.
I think it does show that I'm live.
Okay.
Or no? Hold on.
Nope, I don't see it. It usually pop up on my phone.
Oh, okay. I think it's gonna go live whenever. Okay, I think it's gonna go live at 5 o'clock. That's what it is. I think. No?
Okay, 5 o'clock your time.
Yeah. I think you're an hour. Okay.
There it is. Live.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm getting. I'm gonna get a couple minutes. Yes. Yeah. Some people they get kind of salty when I start the stream. And it take me a couple of minutes to start. I'll be like, man, I ain't trying to do all this talking. It's like two of y'all here.
People can watch it later. You can.
Yeah.
Come by.
I just want to get the message out to the people. I just hate talking. Ain't nobody here.
I feel you. It's like being on the stage and then nobody knows.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I only got about 9, 10 people. Okay, let's wait for a few more people. Come on, let's get some more Sega fanboys in here. Alex, where you at? I know
Sega fanboys.
I know he's in there. The oh yeah, he's gonna come. He's gonna come and. All right.
Is this camera just moving on its own?
Uh-oh.
It's trying to get me.
Oh, you got that 3D control.
I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I got that too. I'm gonna show a little show and tell.
Did you get that for that Knights game?
It came with my Knights.
It came with the Knights game?
Yeah, it came kind of like Star Fox, where it came in that big box with the Rumble Pack.
Oh, I don't remember because I was so much into Sega.
My bad. Yeah, so it came in an oversized box basically.
Oh, okay.
That fit the controller.
Honestly, I didn't really get into the Nintendo till like the freaking GameCube, to be honest. No, it was I played the 64 a lot. It's just I didn't own one. It's just I had a lot of friends that owned Nintendo consoles, and basically I go to their house to play Nintendo. They come to my house to play Sega. So it was like that, kind of a win-win kind of.
The 64 was expensive.
How much did it cost when it came out?
It was $200, but the games were like. People forget, like, cartridges were expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So the games were like 70, 80.
Oh, my God.
I paid 80 change for Star Fox 64.
Jesus.
Well, my mom did.
80? That's Canadian money, right? That's Canadian price,
but
right?
It came with the Rumble Pack. It came with the Rumble Pack and stuff, so.
Oh, okay.
That's why it was more, but.
I got you.
Yeah. Hold on. But, yeah, cartridges were very expensive. I used to do a lot of renting and buying from the used Blockbuster bin. Blockbuster, you know what I mean? Blockbuster Video.
I miss
games.
I miss them. Blockbuster in Hollywood. I used to every Friday night. I always go rent a game every Friday night.
Yep. I don't miss them late fees though.
Ooh, yeah, them late fees. Oh my God.
That's where they made all their money out of them damn late fees.
That's why everybody got pissed off and just left them.
They had the option to buy Netflix back in the day. And they
turned
it down.
Well, that was the biggest mistake. That was dumb.
Netflix came to them and said, we'll merge with you, basically. And they said no.
That's crazy, man.
And we see how that turned out.
Yeah. All right. I guess we got a few people. Let's get some more people here. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Game27, and welcome to the first episode of the RGNT show. We've been talking about doing the Sega cast for months, and we almost did it a couple months ago. It's just, T was ready, but I wasn't ready, and I guess everything just went south, and he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing, but, we we promised you we going to do the T-shirt, the RGNT show. So we doing the Sega podcast, just like I promised you we was gonna do a you know what? I'm not even gonna say. I'm not gonna start that. I'm not gonna say that. Not on this podcast. We're gonna keep it clean. We'll keep it clean. All right. But lots of stuff to talk about with Sega, man. Like, I guess with the recent announcement of what Sega is planning on doing, they wanted to revive some of their old IPs and make new IPs, and it's making Sega fans just like me and Mr. T like very excited because there's so many games that we want Sega to revive. Lots of games, especially on the Switch. Like, honestly, a lot of those older Sega IPs work more perfectly on the Switch than it will on the PlayStation, Xbox. Honestly, I think the Sega games will sell better on the Switch because of the handheld aspect of this console. But yeah, man. I guess before we get started, get your intro, T.
Hey there, fools. T here. Happy to be a part of the Sega Fanboy podcast.
Oh, shit.
So we're gonna, as you see, I have my display here to show and tell. As you can see, I'm back there in the corner. Can you see me?
Well, like I said, go ahead.
I got my Sega shrine here, so we're gonna go over some, legacy of Sega stuff. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man, like I said a while ago, like if I knew if you was gonna be showing, I guess going on camera, I would have made your TV a little bigger. I didn't mean to take up most of the space though. Sorry about that.
It's all It's all good.
All right. So basically, I guess what makes you a Sega fan? Like, why do you make so many videos praising Sega? Like, what is it about Sega? That you so much of Sega fanboy, like until this day, even though they hadn't been making good games in years, but it's their legacy that keeps you excited about their games. Why are you a Sega fan, T?
Well, I think it was just like the perfect. Sega came into my gaming history at the perfect time. Like, Sega Genesis was actually the first mainstream console I owned. Like, my first console was the Atari 5200. For you old heads out there, I don't know if y'all know that one.
Oh, sure.
The 5200 was theirs. I want to say it was the second Atari, and it was a complete flop, disaster. But Sega Genesis was the first like console that was mine. Like, we had the NES, but like I was sharing that with my cousins and stuff. It was my cousin's NES, and we all kind of played it together, kind of shared it. So it was never mine, and I think that's why it's not my favorite NES or my favorite Nintendo console, because it wasn't mine at the time. It was big and popular. Yeah. But Sega Genesis, especially came into, because the thing about, I was like at the right age. I was hitting around 10-ish when like Sega was really killing it in the arcades.
Oh,
and, that was the thing about Sega, is that their games were very arcade style. And
still
arcades
is
were huge at that time. So
still is.
Well, that kind of experience at home was like great, So.
Until this day, Sega still got like a whole bunch of arcades. They still in the arcade market. Yeah, even though arcades is dead,
and they always used to.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was saying they always go beyond like just like a regular, just a regular TV and the stick and the buttons or whatever. They would put you in a cabinet. They put you in like a afterburner jet, cockpit, and the what was it? The Sega GT motorbike stuff. You actually be on the bike.
Yeah.
I want to say they were the first companies to start doing that. Maybe Namco, but I remember the big Sega cabinets, and really cool though. They all lit up and stuff, and they were all like trying to immerse you into the experience of like being a jet fighter and being a GT bike racer and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Okay, so basically you said Genesis was your first console. Did you ever get a Master System like after the Genesis?
I bought one after, and I only had a few games for it. I never really got into it. It was just too much other stuff going on at that time.
Oh, okay.
Like try to go find and collect Master System, because Master System was really niche. Like it was a really you could barely walk into a store and find games for it anywhere. So at the time, but never really spent too much time on it. I played Alex the Kid. I played we talked about off air Rocky.
Oh
I played that probably the most. I played Shinobi on it.
I love Shinobi.
Yeah, the first one, and what was the other game we had? Rambo 3, I think came out for it, but I ended up getting it on Genesis because that was a way better version. So so I didn't really play that many games on it.
Oh yeah, like we already know why it wasn't as many games on the Masters, because we already knew Nintendo, they kind of put a strangle on the gaming market back then, until where a lot of third parties couldn't make games for other companies, and it was a few third party games, multiplayer games the Master System had, well, I guess same games that was on the Nintendo, the regular NES. But if you want to look at the comparisons, of course the Master System was the superior version, but the popularity of Nintendo, it's just the Master System had no fighting chance, even though it was a better console if you want to look at the specs, but it was more powerful. Yeah, more powerful. The colors was brighter. Had better sound. Like, it was better. The controller was kind of similar to the Nintendo, kind of rectangular and 2 buttons and the D-pad, whatever. It was a good console. It just came out at a bad time, and if they would have came out the same time as the NES came out, then it could have been better. But it is what it is. It could have
been the console we're talking about instead of Nintendo. It could have been that system that everybody played had it come out at the same time.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but Nintendo were gangsters back then. Nintendo, when they came in, because the market had died after Atari basically killed it in North America anyway. The console gaming market died in like '83, the crash. And, Nintendo kind of came in and revitalized it, and they did it. They did everything I felt like they needed to do to revitalize it. But the stuff that they did pissed all the third parties off eventually.
Oh yeah.
When they got a chance to go to the different console, they were like, well, we ain't got to deal with this Nintendo stuff. Because Nintendo was doing stuff like, if you were a company, you couldn't put out more than 3 games a year on Nintendo. And so some companies would like make sub companies just so they could put out more games. Like Konami, back on the NES, they had the Ultra series. And if you remember, Metal Gear wasn't a Konami game. It was an Ultra game. It came out under the Ultra brand.
I didn't even know that.
Back on the NES, it was Ultra.
Nice.
So, they made a bunch of, you can tell it was a Konami game, because Konami games back then especially had that certain feel to them. So
okay, well that's around your time, because you older than me. So my first console was a Genesis. So you really grew up in the NES era, NES and the Master System.
Yeah, I was definitely an NES kid / Atari kid. So.
Oh yeah. Alex, he's already trolling. He said Sega a refugee camp. Oh my God! So I wonder how many trolls I'm gonna get for this podcast.
Oh man.
Oh my God, Alex,
you hating on that legacy?
Already, hey man, don't get it twisted. Sega, like, they might be trashed these past 15 years, but we can't turn a blind eye on the greatness that that they were back in the 90s. They had some.
I mean, they published games. They don't. They don't really make any games anymore. They don't really have any software studios per se. I think they have a couple, but they mostly publish stuff. Ever since basically the after maybe the second year of Xbox OG, they stopped pretty much making all those games that they used to make back in the day. So.
I guess as far as publishing, they of course Persona 5 just came out, and I just found out like a few months ago Sega purchased Atlas back in 2013, in which I did not know that. So basically, Persona 5 was already in development. And
you didn't know that?
I didn't. I just found out. I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you don't remember that? Because back then people were like mad that Nintendo didn't buy Atlas because they were
I think I remember that now.
Yeah, Nintendo could have bought them, and they were like, I was kind of mad. I was like, "What you doing, man? Get Atlas." I guess they felt like they're gonna get the games anyway because it's Sega.
So. Yeah. But then again, like as that Sega fanboy in me, I'm like, Sega, do whatever you can to get your name back, in people's good graces, man. And Atlas, that was the perfect thing to do because they got some really good games. Like Persona, like I just now got to the Persona series. I never played Persona before, and this Persona 5, the story is so damn good. It will keep you going. I don't know if you ever played Persona, but Persona 5.
I played a couple of them. I mostly did Shin Megami Tensei.
Okay.
Those games. So, and I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember for sure, but I think Persona started under Shin Megami Tensei. I think it was called, the first couple were called Shin Megami Tensei Persona, Shin Megami Tensei Persona 2. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know in the chat, but I think that's right.
Probably so. Like, I really hadn't been into Atlas games, but hold on, no. Atlas, they didn't do Xenoblade. That's Monolith Soft, right? That's Monolith Soft.
Yeah, that's Monolith.
Okay, that's Monolith. Okay, so
X Square guys.
I got you. But I guess when it comes to Sega, like they're making a lot of good moves lately, and I'm really glad that they are doing it. The Yakuza series is selling. It's popular out there in Japan. They are satisfied with their sales. That's why they bring it up to the West. And some people they like it out here. I actually like Yakuza. I got Yakuza 0, and I'm still playing it right now. And Yakuza 6 just came out a few months ago. They're supposed to be coming out to the West. I'm thinking maybe sometime this year or next year, but we are going to get it. And other good moves that's going on. They are dipping to the PC market. They released Bayonetta, in which it sold 100,000 copies the first week. I'm like, wow, that old game sold 100,000 copies on PC the first week. That's crazy. And nice. And basically, I guess with the success of that, people have been asking.
Did they just drop something else on Steam?
Vanquish. They're supposed to be coming out later on. Yeah, supposed to be coming out later on this month. And today they just announced that new Wonder Boy game that just came out is going on PC also. Sega didn't develop. I forgot somebody else developed. That's still a Sega IP. That's still a Sega IP. But well, of course, Sega they didn't develop Vanquish or Bayonetta, but that's their IP. That's their property. But I'm glad that Sega actually is digging into the PC market, trying to make as much money as possible, because for PC gaming these days, it's getting really popular. It's getting really popular because a lot of people is going to PC because they're tired of the console bullshit. Let's just be honest, this generation it's full of bullshit. I'm thinking about getting to the PC market with this PS4 Pro came out. It still can't do 1080 60 or 4K 60. I just want my 60 frames, man. I don't give a damn about the 4K. Same with the Scorpio. Now it's been talk about the whole parity stuff. Like, I'm just so sick and tired of that. Like, if I pay for a premium console, I want the premium experience, and I know for a fact that whenever these multiplayer games go on the Scorpio, let's just be honest, it's gonna be parity with a lot of these games. So that's why I'm thinking about getting to the PC market, but I'm getting kind of off track. But I guess with the Sega, like I'm glad they are getting to the PC market, and I'm glad that they basically. First thing, like if you know you messed up, the first thing is admitting. Sega actually admitted that they messed up. They abandoned their fan base. They abandoned us badly, man, because we've been dying for a lot of Sega games. But yeah, that's the first thing they did right. They admitted. And the second thing, they gave us a retro Sonic game, a 16-bit Sonic game we've been asking for. The game looks awesome. Sonic Forces, people will know, is this a Generations? Like, what is this? And the more gameplay footage I see, the more I want to play, because they give us a lot of choices to play. People have been asking, can we make our own characters? Can you give us a choice if you want to play into the 3D mode or the 2D platform or whatever? They gave it to us, and now they talking about they're going to make new IPs. They're going to dip back into the older IPs, and they are investing more money in R&D. I think it's 7% increase of than last year, because I believe they invested over 420 something million last year. This year they invested over 450 million in R&D. So they basically telling us that they are actually trying. So I really hope that with all this, would give us a lot of older games in which we've been playing, from the Genesis to the Dreamcast, or even the Sega Saturn. No, get me wrong, Sega Saturn got some really good games. But what games would you love for Sega to bring back? Like first, like the game will get you hyped, for instance, like whenever Nintendo show us Zelda, whatever, like you get real hyped. So what games will get you as hyped as Zelda from Sega.
That I would like to see like a new version of.
What's that?
You're asking me? Oh, is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. Well, what would get you? What would get you hyped? You know, when if Sega come back with these older RPs, what games did you want? They get you as hype.
I would like to see a new version of this series, and that is Panzer Dragoon.
Oh
man, this is Panzer Dragoon Saga. This is the RPG one.
Man.
This is the Japanese version, which
is
kind of hard to.
Yeah.
It's hard to follow the story in Japanese because the American version right now is like $500.
Oh Jesus Christ!
If you want to buy a used copy of it out of the box, it's like $500. So
Jesus freaking Christ!
Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to see Panzer Dragoon Saga style, like RPG style, come back, or there's just on rail shooter that it used to be. That, and as far as kind of like Zelda-like adventure, like Shining Force.
I love Shining Force. I played that on the Genesis. That was a really good game.
Yeah, Shining Force, Golden Axe.
That Golden Axe on 360 was trash. That 360 Golden Axe was trash.
Yeah. We don't talk about that one.
That's just as bad as Sonic 06. Oh my god. Wow.
And Phantasy Star for sure. Like Phantasy Star was a great series that I'd like to see again come from Sega. So, I mean, those are games that would take kind of years in development because you have to build a story and new gameplay mechanics and all that stuff. That is what Sega was not known for, which was kind of more in-depth games.
Yeah.
Their bread and butter was obviously arcade style games.
Yep, House of the Dead.
Even Sonic is an arcade style game.
So. Daytona USA, that was really fun. And they had a cheesy soundtrack. Remember that Blue Sky soundtrack? But it was
I love Daytona USA. But I mean, there are better like NASCAR style arcade games out there now at this point. Like it was great for when it came out. Don't get me twisted like it. But I don't really need a new Daytona. I would rather have like one of these games or what was I saying? They might have the game, but I can't remember now. Like even like a Clockwork Knight. Remember Clockwork Knight?
Clockwork Knight. I don't think I played that one. That one. Clockwork Knight. Let me see if I can I don't know. Maybe if you show me because I played a lot of games. I probably don't remember the name of it.
Up here or not? Yeah, I think I have it here. Oh yeah, it's Panzer Dragoon.
Nice.
2. This is a Clockwork Knight. So I'll buy the Japanese version of games.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can get closer.
Okay, I never played that one.
Because they're cheaper.
Yeah.
If it's a game that you don't need to worry about heavy text and stuff, it's and you have the
Fighting Vipers.
What's that thing called?
I got that one too.
There's Fighting Vipers right there. If you have the 4 megabyte expansion cart, I love this game.
Yeah, I just bought Fighting Vipers.
Burning Rangers
last week.
Burning Rangers.
This
is made by Sonic. Yeah, that was made by Sonic Team.
Oh, cool. I always wonder why the Sega Saturn had 2 different cases. I always wondered that.
Because the Japanese cases were basically, just like the PlayStation 1 cases.
Oh, I got you.
And in America, they went with the... Let's see. They basically continued on with the Sega CD cases.
Yeah, Cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's Cliffhanger. This is a really good game, actually.
I think I remember playing that.
Because my camera's back.
No, I see.
This was actually on Super Nintendo too.
Huh, nice.
But that's the better version, the Sega CD one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like they in America, North America, and maybe in the West altogether. I can't remember if PAL did it or not, but they went with the smaller jewel case or jewel CDs this size. And I don't. I mean, I like these things that they look really good on your display.
Oh, you got Bug. Oh, I'm searching for that game.
Bug.
Really?
I got Bug, and this is 2. This is part 2. I got Bug and Bug 2.
Damn,
Yeah.
like the original Bug, it costs more than Bug 2 as far as the value. Like I searched on Amazon.
I don't really keep up with that stuff.
I searched on Amazon.
See, people,
searched. Mm-hmm.
No, I was just gonna say people, consider me a collector, and I think a collector just buys the games just to have on display and to say I got this and this and that. I buy the games because I want to play them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, most of these games, 60% of these games, maybe 70% of these games, I bought within 5 years of them coming out.
Yeah.
So I don't go back and usually buy old games now. A lot of this stuff is from close to around the time when they came out. So, and that's why, people pay all these prices, these high crazy prices. I'm like, well, I bought it for like $5 in a used bin.
Man, oh my God, I cannot believe that. I am really salty right now. I'm salty. You got the games I'm looking for, and
I'm salty about this because I had the American version.
Yeah.
Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Yeah.
And I think I traded it in or sold it or whatever.
I sold mine.
And now it's $600. And I'm like, damn it.
Hell, man, that's crazy. I made a huge.
This is probably the most expensive game I have as far as Sega Saturn goes.
Was it In the Hunt?
Like this, yeah, In the Hunt, which is not, I guess it was just a rare game. This is like, I think you can get it. I think it's about $150 now.
Oh my God.
I
don't know, man, because when I was searching for Bug, they wanted like $400.
Oh, Bug. Yeah, you said about Bug. I didn't know that.
They wanted $400 when I searched on Amazon. Was it last week?
They wanted $400 for Bug 2?
I think Bug 2 was a little cheaper, but it can fluctuate. Maybe that was the last copy. That's probably what it is. But yeah, man, you got the games I've been looking for, like Bug and a Stall. Like, those are the games that I played when I was a kid.
This is a classic.
Man, stop showing me that, man.
I know this is expensive.
I'm salty right now. I'm salty right now. I don't want to see that number.
You want to know what I paid for it?
Oh man, you're gonna make me mad.
Know what I paid for it?
How much?
I paid $11.99.
Oh my God! You know how much that shit costs now?
Back in 1999, I think it was.
Man, they want. I think I'm gonna look on Amazon. I think they want $200 for that game install. That game is awesome, man.
Yeah.
If y'all had a Sega Saturn,
it's a great game. Like some of these games that are really expensive, they're like kind of trash, and they're really expensive because they're rare.
Yeah.
But this game is not just rare; it's also actually an awesome game.
It's a good game. I love it. I love that game, man.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to see my camera, but
I can see it.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Man, like Jesus Christ, how much you want for that, man?
I came from my stall.
Oh my God, man, that game was awesome. I want to play it now.
I'll tell you this.
What is that?
Street Fighter the movie.
Oh, I want that trash, man. That's trash. Hell no. Oh my God, that is trash. I don't want
this
that
game
shit.
is trash. I had to have it because
if the movie was trash,
so bad it's good. The movie was trash.
If that movie was trash, that's going to be trash. Yeah, I'm looking on Amazon.
If you play this game, I think I pointed this out in the Sega Saturn video I did before. I don't know if you can see that. The guy that played Ryu in the movie.
Yeah.
He's Asian, but his eyes. In the game, they did some photoshopping and made his eyes more slanted. It's embarrassing.
Oh damn.
Yeah, if you look at the game and you look at the actual actor, they slanted his eyes more in the game for some reason. It's weird.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's crazy. You can't tell who's Asian when it comes to these video games and anime because they got the Asian people look white. Let's just be honest. They got them look white for some reason.
For some reason that's what Japanese guys like to draw. So
yeah,
but the best, this is what Sega was best at.
Oh, which one is that one?
Fighters, this is the Street Fighter collection. This is expensive too, I believe.
The one I played on Saturn was Alpha. Was it Warrior? Alpha. What was the name of it?
Street Fighter Alpha Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior's Dream. That's the one I played. God damn it, man! Why you showing me this shit? Man, you was making me very salty right now, man. Oh my god, man!
That was boy, I love Street Fighter Alpha.
Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I was in high school and we used to play that at the arcade all the time. Street Fighter Alpha when it first came out, and this is one of my favorite Saturn games as well. I don't think this is that expensive.
Is that the X-Men? Okay. I'm looking. I want the other one, the X-Men. The X-Men game. What's the name of it? It was I love that game.
She was in the
Oh, god damn it, T. This podcast is over. This podcast is over. I'm salty. Damn, man. You got my childhood over there, man. That was an awesome game.
I have every Capcom fighter on Saturn. So.
Oh man, I love that Children of the Air. That was a great game. That's why that's why I'm pretty heated right now about this Marvel vs. Capcom. There's no X-Men characters.
I was gonna say these are the precursor to Marvel vs. Capcom. These games, X-Men: Children of the Atom, and X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Yeah, but
I think it was there's a Marvel Capcom too, obviously. But
I got both of them on the drink. Let me see if I can find them right quick. Yeah, I got both of them.
Yeah, I only have 2 on Dreamcast.
Yeah, you got 2. So I got Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So they can be expensive, but I kind of found a good price. I paid $40 for Marvel vs. Capcom. I paid $60. No, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I paid $60, and I paid I think $45 for the first one. But man, it's not cheap, but it's okay if you don't want to pay no $100-$200 price tags. Because at one point when I was looking for Marvel vs. Capcom on eBay, they wanted $200. I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah, see, that's one reason I'm not a collector, because I'm not paying that kind of money for these games. Like,
that's crazy.
Unless it's something that's like out there that I really, really want. But just like going out and buying really expensive old games all the time, I'm not. That's why I'm just glad I have my stuff that I bought back in the day.
Yeah,
I still have most of it.
Yeah, I would love to get a lot of
with me is Oh, and I was just saying, the thing with me is I'm the oldest of 8 kids.
Oh, god damn it! Damn.
Oh yeah.
Woo-wee.
Oh yeah, big family.
That's old school right there.
So a lot of my games and consoles, I would pass down to my siblings. So I lost some stuff that way, and So what I would do is I'd go back and replace that stuff over the years, but that's mostly what I've done. I've never actively tried to collect. Actually, the Wii U was the first system I decided to do that for. Oh, yeah. And then I changed my mind in a week. I'm not collecting for the Wii U. Too much trash on there, man.
Oh, damn. Too much trash. Oh, y'all heard it. Mr. C, he admitted it. We use trash.
No. There's too much. Most consoles have way too much trash.
Oh, I got you.
I can't bring myself to buy Barbie's Racing, that kind of, because a collector, you want to,
wow,
you want to make a complete, you want to have a complete collection. You want to have all the US games or whatever, and that means you got to buy all those garbage games, and it's just I have all the best Wii U games, and I just couldn't bring myself to go out and buy trash. Just to have the collection. So that's what I was talking about. I didn't want to buy garbage.
Yeah, that's true. We do got a lot of garbage games.
I don't know how anybody collect for any of these consoles, because 90 or not 90, but maybe 70 to 60% of any console's library is just garbage. And to have to go out and actively buy that stuff knowing it's garbage is I can't do that. That's why I can't consider myself a collector. So.
Oh yeah, the only way if I'm gonna start collecting these expensive games, kind of like an Earthbound, because you know how expensive that thing is. Earthbound or
Earthbound is $300 or something.
Yeah, it was $300 at this store I used to go to get my retro stuff. That's very expensive. Super Mario RPG, it's not expensive, but average price of a Mario RPG is $70. That's still kind of a lot of money. Same with Super Metroid, that's $60-$70, and I would love to
see.
Get
those
it.
Are the things that just drive me crazy thinking about, because Mario RPG I traded. I don't know what I traded it for. back in the day. But I remember specifically Earthbound and what I traded Earthbound for. You ready?
What's that?
I traded some kid in school Earthbound. I traded him Earthbound for Doom.
Oh,
on Super Nintendo.
Damn, dude, you got.
I was happy back then, but now I'm like,
don't get me wrong. Doom is an awesome game. It's just the value of Doom is. I could buy it right now for about $20-$30.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right now,
yeah,
you can get Doom on your calculator. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's everywhere. So
we all made mistakes because when I was in high school, like I was trying to get some extra money, and I had a case full of Sega Saturn games. Those games we talked about a while ago, I had all that plus more. I took it to the pawn shop and got about $25 for games I could probably get by almost $1,000. Yeah, I feel like an ass right now. Like all those games we talked about, I had a lot more than that, and I'm just I don't know what to say. Like I'm just.
Yeah. And even regardless of the value, I'm just kind of sad that I don't have those games in my collection, you know, just regardless how much they go for. It just drives me insane.
Yeah.
Because now that I want them, they're like, a car payment.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. So I guess moving on, like, as far as Sega's, like, they talking about they going to utilize their older IPs, like, which of the IPs do you think it will work perfectly in today's industry that they hadn't used in a long time?
That is a good question. Sega specific IPs that would work perfectly. Well, I mean, easy one would be. Let me see if I can pull it up here. This bad boy here.
Oh yeah, that's
Virtual Fight needs to come back. This is my favorite 3D
It needs to come
fighter
back
of all time.
That needs to come back.
I love Virtual Fighter.
It needs to come back.
That would be an easy one, I think, because it wouldn't need some crazy transition, you know, because we've already had a 3D Virtual Fighter, you know, and that's what people are going to expect it to be in 3D. So. I mean, we got Sonic. I mean, that's the one game that Sega never stopped making. Was them damn Sonic games.
These are them damn Sonic. Sonic.
I got a video for them Sonic fanboys. They tripping.
Dude, like if you go to those,
they're very excited. What's that?
If you go to those comment sections on Sonic videos, oh my God, talking about the most cancerous comment section. Like, the Sonic fan base is the worst. Oh my God.
They are in full on, crazy.
I thought the Xbox.
They got 2 games coming out this year. They losing their minds. They trying to tell everybody else what they should be doing. I'm like, wait a minute. The only reason you got Sonic, what's the 2D one?
Mania?
Sonic Mania. Only reason you got Sonic Mania is because Sega was so terrible at making Sonic games, a fan had to make a better one.
Hey, I could commend Sega for doing that. I wish Nintendo could do the same thing. Down.
Well, like that's the thing. Like that's the thing they were talking about. They were saying, because I think Nintendo just shut down another fan thing.
I know.
Like, here's the problem. Here's the difference. Nintendo still makes good Mario games and Zelda games.
Yeah.
Sega wasn't. So there's a difference there.
Yeah.
Maybe Nintendo has that in the works and they don't want this guy coming out with that's what I was, what I was saying about, because I did a video about Metroid 2, the fan remake, which, Nintendo shut down. Sometime last year, I think late last year. And I'm like, okay, Nintendo's probably never going to remake that game. So why not pay this guy and put that out, and make money. Everybody makes money, and the fans are happy because they got a new Metroid game. I'm sure most Metroid fans have not played Metroid 2 because it was a Game Boy game. Mm-hmm. So that would be a good game. That would be awesome on the Switch right now.
It would.
Another Metroid. What is it called? AM2? What is it? Another Metroid 2 remake. AM2R.
I'm not sure because
AM2R.
I didn't really get into the Metroid series until the Prime series.
Oh yeah.
I love the Prime series. They need to come back. I want that Metroid Prime so badly, dude. Yeah, because
people didn't come out and buy it, man. I feel you, bro.
Yeah, it's so true,
you
man.
You can't keep burning money if you're Nintendo. It's like those games are kind of expensive.
If they make it, I know, yeah, it is a little expensive, but if they could make a multiplayer aspect of it, like I think it's a better, especially in today's gaming industry, like shooters is so popular.
Yeah. If they did that, they combined it with like Prime Hunters on the DS multiplayer. Obviously better than that, but that's a good starting point.
Like if you look at the shooter like the shooters like back then, like it wasn't really that popular. It was getting its feet wet because of Halo. Halo kind of made shooters what it is now. But as far as Halo, there wasn't really nobody competing with it. I know they had Call of Duty 1 and 2 and all that, but Call of Duty around that time wasn't as popular as Call of Duty is today. So that might be one of the reasons. Maybe it just didn't hit its stride. So if they basically, come out with another one.
Prime came out right when that stuff is starting to take off, like the online multiplayer shooters and stuff. And obviously GameCube didn't.
That was the problem.
Really cater to that. They had a couple of games online, but they had Phantasy Star Online, which is pretty fun.
Wow.
So we're talking about Nintendo now. Let's talk about Sega. Right, so I want to start off by, because we talked about the Genesis here. For some of my hidden gems. This is kind of a hidden gem, I think. This is
which one's that? Which one? I don't recognize it. What it say?
Let's see, probably can't see it. Midnight Resistance.
No, I didn't play that.
This is kind of. It's very Contra-like. Love this game. The music in this game is that was one of the things that was really good on a lot of Sega Genesis games, was the music.
Yeah.
Very cool. This game is not a hidden gem. It's straight trash. Don't buy this. It's called Last Battle. It is garbage.
Oh yeah, I saw at the store the other day. I don't even play. That thing like shit. But I think
That's my game right there.
Which one is that one? Is that Rambo?
Rambo 3.
Okay, that show was on the Genesis.
It's awesome. I played the hell out of this game.
What about this? Do you think this game will? Do you think that people actually buy in today's gaming industry? Can you see it?
What's that? No.
Let me come closer.
Oh, I can't even see your. I'm getting your icon on my end. I don't see your.
Okay. You're
on camera, right?
Oh yeah, I'm on camera. That's okay. So the people in the chat can probably see it. Vector Man and Shinobi. Shinobi 3.
Oh, yeah, I got those.
Shinobi 3 was so awesome.
Shinobi 3, son.
That was awesome. Oh my god. Why we
have that on Wii U? I have that on my Wii U. I downloaded it from my Wii.
Oh yeah, me too.
That is that game. That is the perfect. That to me, that is the perfect game. Shinobi 3.
Yep. Yeah.
Amazing game. Amazing. If you don't have it, if you have a Sega Genesis, buy it. If you can't get it there, go to the Wii U eShop or the Virtual Console and get that game because it is awesome.
Terminator Juice. He said Sega and always will suck. Oh my god. They got a lot of, yeah. We got a lot of. Oh, Jurassic Park. Oh yeah, I used to play it out. Matter of fact, hello. Did Sega publish that game? I heard that they did.
I believe so. I think they published this version.
So that's okay. It was that. Okay,
Super Nintendo didn't get this one. This is a different. That was the cool thing about back in the day when you had Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis going at it. Their games were different. They had the same game, but it was different on each console.
Shit, what about okay, where's that? Do y'all people remember this in the chat? Comic Zone? Y'all remember that?
Oh, Comic Zone.
That game was
awesome. I thought it was on Super Nintendo, but it's not.
You wish it was on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
No, this game is awesome. It's hard, man. I was trying to play it.
Easy.
I was trying to play it the other day. I got my ass whooped. And if you die one time, it game over. What the hell? The struggle we went through back then, man. Kind of like with Strider. Strider's an awesome game, but dang. Oh my god, it is hard. Kind of like Donkey Kong hard. You get a hit a couple times, that's it. It's so hard.
Oh man.
Oh man, like the struggle we went through playing the
But
Genesis.
this right here, that's the truth right there.
Oh, Sonic! I love Sonic 2.
My favorite Sonic game.
Lot of people say Sonic 3 is their favorite, but I love Sonic 2 because of Super Sonic.
Yeah, it seemed like Sonic 3 the most, but this, I don't know if it was just like the time period when I got this, and this one is the one that stuck with me the most. Sonic 2.
Yeah, I got that too. Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. And
here's a game that's coming out on the Switch this week.
Oh yeah. Hey, RGT 85, he's hyping it up, man. So maybe gotta. I don't know, man. I might have to try that because he's been talking some mad trash to me, man. I'm at the show thing. Yeah, he's been trash talking a lot. Yeah, but Street Fighter was very popular back then. I love Street Fighter, but I think Capcom they kind of overdid it. They made too many versions of Street Fighter 2. And it's cool.
Well, they were making money. People were buying them, so you can't.
Yeah.
Man, people kept buying them. I mean, back then especially. Make your money, man. But let's talk about what started to kill Sega.
Yeah, we already know about that.
This is the part that Alex is gonna love.
Oh man, yeah, he's just ready to troll. I know you're still here, Alex. Go ahead, get it out.
This is one of the things.
Don't you show that shit.
That started to kill them.
Oh my god.
This is actually the second thing, but I don't have my. I didn't want to pull out my Sega CD. It was too much trouble.
Yeah.
But Sega CD, obviously. Yeah, I got some games though. I showed Cliffhanger.
The Sega
CD.
Wasn't the Sega CD? What's that?
Let me turn the light on. I can't.
I think wasn't what's the name of that game? Sewer Shark? Was that a pack-in game with the CD? I think it was. I think it came with it. Did you get Sewer Shark?
Sewer Shark.
Was that a pack-in game? Because I think it was a pack. I
got a pack-in game when I bought mine.
I think it was a pack-in game. Had cheesy voice acting. I think it was. I remember that game. Yeah, but
and the problem with Sega CD is that a lot of the games that came on, like Mortal Kombat, were pretty similar. To the cartridge version. So it was like, why should I buy a Sega CD? And the reason you bought a Sega CD was for the FMV, full motion video stuff.
Yeah.
Games like we just talked about earlier, Night Trap. The
classic
Night Trap.
Terrible game. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a terrible game, but in that time, full motion video was the big thing.
Mist was on there too.
Mist, yeah. I have Mist on Saturn. I don't have it on Sega CD.
I think I had mine on the CD, on Sega CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was the. I think the Sega CD came out first before the 32X.
Yeah, Sega CD was first. It came out in '92, I want to say.
Yeah.
92, and then the 32X came out in '94, I think.
94, probably. So.
And the problem is,
it did come out in '94 because I think the PlayStation came out in '95. They tried to get a head start on the
what 32. 32-bit. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
This is not.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some games that look really good on this, but it's not like 32-bit. I mean, it's 32-bit in name only.
Oh yeah.
But here's a picture of the Sega CD. So you put you have your Sega CD. You have your 32X.
That's too many attachments.
Each one of these things needed a power supply.
Oh my god!
Needed their own power supply.
What was Sega thinking? Oh my god!
And you know how big those power supplies were back then.
Hell
so you
yeah!
stick that in a wall.
And them things get
hooked up at once. This is like a fire hazard, man. It's like
hell yeah.
Because
remember how them adapters they get so hot so easy and so fast. Put two adapters right by each other. I gotta be a fire, man.
But like the problem with Sega was that they were on crack. It was like, oh, let's do this, let's do that.
I think they let the Sega, the Genesis success get to their heads. That's what it was. I
think so too.
They should have
because they beat Nintendo in North America as far as console sales. And I think they, they were afraid to let that go. They were getting worried. The new consoles coming, Sony coming in. There was a lot of buzz behind the PlayStation, and N64, Ultra 64 was supposed to come out in '95, but it got pushed back a year. So they were scattering around trying to do things to keep people's attention on Sega.
Yep.
And so they put out the CD, and they didn't really support it for very long. And then they put out the 32X, and obviously they didn't really support it that long.
That was their major
consumers
mistake.
were like, Sega's putting all this shit out, and like they're not supporting it. Why should I buy their console? And so by the time this bad boy came out, people were like, I'm not buying that because it's not going to be around that long.
Yeah, that's true. And plus, when it came out, they said that the Saturn wasn't their future, and that pissed off a lot of people.
That was like 2 years later after it launched. That was like 90. They said it in 97.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Just think.
Yeah.
That's
2 years later.
2 years. Just think if Microsoft said that 2 years after the Xbox One release, well, the Xbox One ain't no future. Yeah.
The Saturn problems were way before. Okay, so the Saturn came out, or they were building the Saturn, and Sega was like, the Saturn was going to be a 2D powerhouse, and it is. It is a 2D powerhouse. But they learned that the N64 was going to be a 3D console, and they learned that Sony PlayStation was going to be a 3D mainly console. So they ran back to the drawing board in the middle of already putting this thing out and having it ready. Yeah. And they just let's throw some more CPU cores at it, and we can have a 3D console. And it just wasn't well put together. The cores, the hardware wasn't well put together, so it made it really tough to program 3D games, especially for this. 2D games were a breeze, and they look beautiful in this thing.
Oh yeah.
3D games, which was the future, they had trouble programming stuff for. Like, people don't know this, but this was supposed to be exclusive to the Sega Saturn, and Tomb Raider was like, I want to say the developers, who was it, IDOS? They had issues with Sony. They didn't like Sony. And that's why this was going to be exclusive, but the Saturn came out and had all those issues. This is the definitive version of Tomb Raider, at least the 32-bit ones. Obviously, they made a remake.
Yeah, it actually looks good for the Saturn. It looks good. I saw the comparison between the.
And the best thing about it though is the audio. The audio in this game is amazing, and that was the thing. The thing about the Saturn is that it had a dedicated audio chip. It had a dedicated audio CPU. And that's why the sound on this thing is untouchable. That's why I love this console, because it had all these cool things that were really good, like obviously the 2D stuff and the audio stuff. It was great on this console.
Yeah, just think if they would put all those resources and their money from the 32. If they didn't come out with the 32X or the CD,
they gave up.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Beat Nintendo 64 in Japan. This was the #2 console in Japan.
Yeah, it sold pretty well in Japan.
It sold great. It sold great in Japan. The Saturn did, and it had a lot of great RPGs. And that was another problem. The stupid guy, I can't remember his name right now. Go watch my documentary on this, because I did a really good documentary on the Sega Saturn. I can't remember his name right now, but he said, "Oh no, the American audiences don't want RPGs. They don't want that Japanese stuff." And so a lot of the cool games that came out in Japan never came out over here.
Yeah.
And that was just stupid. That killed. RPGs were huge in the mid '90s, especially.
Oh hell yeah!
And they just screwed that up. There's so many screw ups with this console. It's a shame. This is my second favorite console.
We still didn't get a Sonic game for the Saturn. There was no main Sonic game for the Saturn. That, like, you can't. Right. That's your mascot. Like, it doesn't make sense.
That tells you a lot.
It's just like Nintendo. It's like Nintendo don't come out. They come out with a system, but no Mario. Like, what?
No Mario game.
That's crazy, dude.
Maybe like a Mario compilation disc from old games.
Yeah.
But no new Mario game for, the Switch. What would you think about that? That would be crazy.
That was suicide.
And that's what happened with the Saturn. They were making one. They were working on one.
Yeah, they was rushing. That's what it was. It was a rush.
But they just couldn't get the concept down. If you go and play, what is it, Sonic? What's the compilation disc for Saturn?
Oh man, I forgot, dude.
Sonic something. I can't remember the name of it. I never had it.
Ah, damn.
If anybody knows, in the chat, throw it up.
Yeah, but, I forgot.
There's for the hub world in that game. So you go choose which Sonic game you want to play. The hub world in that game is a 3D, Sonic Adventure style kind of setup. You run around as a 3D Sonic, and that was the basis for the Sonic game they were working on. They never got around to finishing because a stupid idiot said 2 years later that this wasn't their future.
Damn.
So they moved on to the Dreamcast with the Sonic games.
Yeah. When they said that, retailers, a lot of retailers, they refuse to take in.
Seriously, we have all this stock.
Yeah. They.
This thing launched at $400.
Oh yeah. That was too much damn money.
$400 for this.
$400. Jesus.
Later. Or I think this was given to me by a friend. I think this is his.
Another thing was Sony.
I have three Saturns. I have one that I keep out and play, and two that I got put away. This is one of them. And it was $400.
That's
and
crazy.
Came out, dude. It came out. It tried to beat PlayStation to market, because the PlayStation was coming out in September '95.
Yeah, they came out.
They wanted to beat PlayStation. Yeah. So it came out. They came out to E3 that year and said, "Oh, the Saturn is available right now."
Wow.
And they had no games.
I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
They had no games. None of the games were ready.
Dang.
So they pissed off
a lot of people.
Electronics Boutique. They pissed off
the retailers.
retailers.
They pissed off
and
the
so
fans.
They didn't have them. Like I had to go to, I think, Software Etc. It's not around anymore. It's more like a PC store.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I found a Saturn. Because retailers didn't want to stock this thing because they were so pissed off at Sega.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Yeah.
So
that's what it was.
They just totally screwed this thing up.
They fucked themselves over so bad that whenever they came out with that glorious Dreamcast, in which is like one of my all-time favorite
Dreamcast
consoles,
was put out there to die.
Yep.
Because I don't think I have any with me, but EA supported the hell out of this thing.
Yeah, but not the Dreamcast
EA,
though. Yeah.
Madden games, I have all of them. I think.
I got Madden 97.
NHL,
Let me see.
EA was pissed because they lost so much money in this thing.
Yeah, I got Madden 97.
So they did not. Dreamcast came out and said, "Fuck you, we're not supporting Dreamcast." They didn't support Dreamcast at all. EA.
Yeah, that's why Sega came out and made Sega Sports with 2K and NFL 2K, World Series 2K.
That's why you got these bad boys.
I love those games. That was
EA
awesome.
said nope, but that was actually a good thing. I think these games were better.
Oh, they was better. That's why I got pissed off whenever EA pulled that bullshit and basically they licensed the NFL.
You can't blame them. I couldn't blame them for that because they did support the hell out of the Saturn.
I know.
Sega. EA loves Sega. They made a lot of money on Genesis.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah. Honestly, I think I think NFL 2K5 was better than Madden 05.
Oh, it was.
I love 2K. Yeah, I think it was like $20 when it launched. It was $20. $20. I think T.O. was in the cover. T.O. I remember that.
T.O. was in the cover. Yeah,
I love that game because I remember.
I got it for Xbox OG.
Yep, me too. Did you like create your own touchdown soundtrack whenever you score a touchdown? Did you ever do that?
Yeah.
Man, that was so awesome, man. That's why I love my Xbox because a lot of Sega games went to Xbox. I think the Xbox had more Sega games than the PS2. I think they did. Yeah. That's how I became an Xbox fan because
Xbox did. Yeah, because Sega made an exclusive deal with Microsoft. If you look at your Dreamcast, it says Windows CE on it because Dreamcast. That was why the Dreamcast was so easy to pirate because it ran the Windows operating system, and people just ripped games, for it. And that was a sad thing. That's what killed the Dreamcast because the console sold pretty well in the beginning, especially, and it just kind of the games didn't sell. Like Shenmue barely sold 1 million copies. Shenmue.
Didn't they put like 50 or 70 some million towards that?
They
lost a lot of money.
I think it was at least 30 million. It's different. I mean, this game is greatness, and it sold barely 1 million copies. And that was a sad thing. And they spent so much money. You can tell they put, especially for its time when it came out, this was like high production stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
They put a lot of motion capture and voice acting, and it was a big game for its time.
Yeah. Like the Dreamcast, everything was before its time. Like,
the Dreamcast is one of the most innovative, underrated consoles ever made.
Yeah, that's why I keep telling some of these Nintendo guys, like, Nintendo wasn't the first people gaming companies to have a second screen. That was Sega. Like, that's just some of these guys don't know anything about gaming, man.
But I mean, there was a lot that the Dreamcast got from N64. The whole controller pack thing.
Oh yeah,
that was the N64 thing. The Rumble pack inside the controller, and that's when they came up with the memory card inside the controller. So they fed off each other really well.
Well, everybody copies each other.
Yeah.
I guess another thing, like during the sixth generation, that is sixth generation Dreamcast and PlayStation 2. Is that 6?
No, that's.
You sure?
Well, yes. Well, Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, GameCube.
Yeah, that's sixth generation.
So,
yeah. Yeah, I think like one of the main, I won't say main reasons, like another thing that a lot of people got pissed off is that the Dreamcast only had one analog stick, and the PS2 and the Xbox and GameCube had a second analog stick.
I was not in love with the Dreamcast controller, I will say. And I had the, basically, where did I put the prototype. This is the prototype for the Dreamcast controller, basically. This is the Saturn 3D controller. And as you can see, this is the analog. It looks very similar to Dreamcast controller.
Yeah, the Dreamcast controller is big and bulky. So it is.
It's set up pretty similar. This is the cool thing is that you can pull out the cord. You don't have to wrap it and whatnot. You can just pull that cord piece out and just slide it in. But that's the 3D controller, and this is the standard Saturn controller. Now, as you can see, it's basically a Genesis controller with 3 more buttons and buttons.
Yep, that's basically, it is a Genesis controller. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So, and it's super light. I feel like the cord is actually heavier than the controller. I never liked that. It was like, it's weird. It's really light. I'm glad
the cord was a lot longer than the Genesis. Remember the Genesis cord was like 3 foot long?
Oh, yeah, Genesis.
What the hell, man?
I don't need that much, I don't think.
He gotta sit right by the TV to play the game.
Oh, man, I'm trying to find... But yeah, like... I was trying to find Knights. I have like 3 versions of the game. I have the one that came with the controller, and I have like the standalone. But anyway, Knights is another game that I would like to see come back.
Yeah, I would love for that to come back.
The Wii game was some bullshit.
Which one?
The Wii Knights it was Knights something.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
I have it. I just can't remember the name of it. It was not very good. The Knights part of it was good, but they tried to do this like 3D platforming stuff, and it was not good. But if you have a Saturn, you gotta have one of these bad boys. Arcade stick, man.
Oh, nice.
Because them 2D fighters, this is what you want. This thing is nice and hefty.
What, Eddie, was there a tease for an arcade stick for the Switch? I forgot who teased that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I forgot all about that.
And if you think about it, if Sega and Nintendo partner up and Sega bring a whole bunch of their IPs back to the not Genesis, to the Switch, and you include the arcade stick with Sega's IPs, that would be awesome, dude.
Yeah, make a Capcom styled. That would be great. That would be sick, man.
Mega Man, Vector Man. Matter of fact, I think Vector Man will do good in today's industry. Shooters. You gotta have your shooters.
Speaking of Vector Man,
I got that too.
You got Smash Pack.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm still waiting for that Volume 2 though. I'm still waiting for that Volume 2.
Oh yeah, Volume 1. I forgot all about that.
They never gave us a Volume 2.
You ran out of money. That's why there was no Volume 2. I feel so bad for Sega, man.
Me too, man.
It was kind of their own fault,
No, it is their fault.
We're too combative. If they would have just focused, they should have went all the way through the generation with this. Just struggled, stop trying to be so sporadic and take your time and just put out the games you can for this. Because like I said, it sold well in Japan. And one of the reasons I like to compare it to the Wii U sometimes was the marketing.
Oh hell yeah!
The marketing in Japan was way better partially because of this guy.
Who that?
You know who that is?
Who that?
This guy is I'm sure I'm gonna say his name backwards, so I'll say it both ways. It's Segata Sansehiro.
I don't know who that is.
And he was basically like Crash Bandicoot, you know, in the commercials in the mid '90s. He was like the mascot of Sega, and at least in Japan, and he would walk around with like a giant Sega Saturn on his back, and it was funny as hell. And he'd carry like giant Sega Saturn. You could see the Sega Saturn controller. He was so popular, they made this game.
Oh,
that's how popular the character was. This is a game.
Are you serious? Oh, damn.
Yeah, Sensei Hiro Sagata, and they the marketing here was so weird. Again, if you go look at my shameless plug, my documentary on the rise and fall of Sega Saturn, you see the weird, kind of strange marketing that they had here. That was another thing that killed the Saturn from the beginning. So there's a lot of factors. We covered it, but let's talk about.
We didn't talk about Rayman. You ever play Rayman on Saturn versus the PlayStation? The Saturn.
Did I play the Saturn version? I had to. Yeah, it was the Saturn version I played.
I love the Saturn version. Rayman was the shit.
Again, the audio in that version was gorgeous. I mean, it was great.
It's a great soundtrack. I love the soundtrack, man.
I hooked up my. I don't have one. Oh, I have one now. I don't really have it hooked up, but I had a nice sound system back then, and it was back in those days, especially to hear a video game with that kind of audio was freaking amazing, man. And Resident Evil was another great one. The first Resident Evil, it did come out on Saturn.
Yeah, it did. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was I about to say? Oh yeah. I guess the future of Sega, like, you know, talk about the rise and fall of Sega. You know, what made them so popular, and what made them just vanish out of the thin air in this console market. You know, don't get me wrong, like, just because they fucked up doesn't mean that there's not a legacy for Sega, because there's a lot of great games that came out back in the day. But as far as the future goes, like, you know, Sega is still in this game industry. Like, I don't care how salty y'all guys in this chat. I don't care how much Sega hate y'all guys got in this chat. Sega ain't going nowhere. You know, they spent over 400.
They got paper, man. People don't.
They still got paper. I keep telling Alex they are still a multi-billion-dollar company. 2 years in a row. Last year they spent over 400,000 R&D. This year, a little bit more, 450,000. This year R&D. That's just R&D. Like, they have money. They bought Atlas for $140 million back in 2013. Right. Like, they have money. But as far as do they have money too? That was
the biggest thing to let you know. They acquired Atlas. Like, that was a pretty big purchase that would be a big purchase for a company with no money. So Sega got some money. They ain't up there with, you know, Nintendo and Sony or anything, but they got money.
Now, people think that they are Capcom broke.
They'd be broke if they came out with a console. But they're avoiding that, obviously, and they probably should.
Excuse me, I'm eating, man.
Although I wouldn't mind seeing them try a handheld again.
Oh, the Sega game.
I think that'd be a safer. Yeah, I think that'd be a safer thing to try.
Yeah. Wouldn't be as much money to put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as the games, like I said, man, I don't mind them bringing out a Shenmue collection, because that game, that Shenmue 1, I hadn't played 2. I played 1. 2 was it?
Didn't play 2?
I remember it wasn't exclusive to the Xbox in Europe for some reason. Yeah. In Europe, not here.
No, it came out in North America. I have it.
You sure?
The North American version.
You probably got to import it, cause it was exclusive to Europe and Japan.
Let me go look at my copy. I'm pretty sure it's.
You sure about that?
You go ahead and talk. I'm gonna grab my copy. Just keep talking.
Yeah, like he about to go chat. You know, but Shenmue collection, Shenmue 1 and 2, like, I believe that would do really good in today's industry, like, with the RPGs on how popular it is. Shenmue, like, we can all agree, you know, especially if you're a Sega fan, that game came out before its time. They put over 30 or 50 something million dollars towards a video game back in the 90s. We talking about 90s, not 2000s, not 2010, not 2015, 17. We talking about late 90s. They put over $50 million towards one game. They lost a lot of money. Sega, they made a lot of mistakes. They got a lot of great games, great IPs. But Shenmue collection, that's like the top on my list that I would love for Sega to bring back. And Shinobi 3, in which we was talking about a while ago. I love Shinobi games. I don't, you know, if Sega, if they could have somebody make a Shinobi game, I would love for. What happened? What you say?
You didn't run out of stuff to say, did you?
No, I was still talking. I was basically saying, like, if Sega, if they come back with a Shinobi game, it's gonna be between Platinum Games or Team Ninja. I would love for them to develop for. Shenmue.
This is American. This is American, my friend. See?
Oh, it is. I could have sworn it was exclusive to Europe.
Now it'd be what's that? Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
This is North America.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, it was it only came out in Europe and on the Dreamcast. I think that's what you're thinking about.
That's right.
There is a European.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, there is a PAL version of Shenmue 2 PAL on the Dreamcast. But it didn't come out to the West, or it didn't come out to North America.
So how did sales do on the Xbox?
The Xbox version didn't sell that well. And when they tried everything they could, they put Shenmue the movie in here. You know what that is?
I didn't know it was a movie.
No, was not. This is basically part one. All the cutscenes.
Oh,
so you wouldn't be lost.
I got you.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be lost. So they put it on a DVD. They put all the cutscenes. They put the story of Shenmue 1 in here, so that way when you play Shenmue 2, you won't be completely lost.
Yeah, you be caught
you
up.
Played it before. So.
I think like
that was pretty smart. That was pretty cool that they did that. They didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I think it'd be smart if they do make a collection, Shenmue collection. Matter of fact, there's been some hints that they was gonna do that. I'm not sure if that's true, but I think
the main problem with Shenmue not selling was the Xbox didn't sell that great. The console,
not enough.
Xbox One, Xbox original only sold 2 million more units than the GameCube.
Well, technically, it was an Xbox One. Technically.
Yeah, it was the Xbox One. It's so stupid that.
That was really dumb.
It's confusing.
Probably not enough guns in Shenmue. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, Shenmue. I mean,
no guns.
Because if you look at the marketing, if you remember the marketing for Xbox back then, it was super American. It was very Western, and Shenmue is not. It's a very Eastern game. So, I think they would have had a better chance putting it on the GameCube.
Yeah.
But I think they thought that too. But I think they didn't do it because the GameCube disc was small, and Shenmue on the Dreamcast, which is comparable to the GameCube disc, the Dreamcast disc, it's pretty close in size.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The one was 4 discs.
Damn!
It was 4 discs on the Dreamcast. So
hey, did you say don't you have Shenmue on a Saturn? I thought you made a video about that. Don't you have it on a Saturn?
No. Shenmue actually started out on the Saturn. They were making it for the Saturn, and it looked really good. That's another video you guys can go watch. It's called Shenmue on Saturn, one of my videos.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it looked really good on the Saturn. That's why I was talking about how powerful the Saturn was. It never got tapped. It never reached its full potential, mainly because they basically threw it under the bus after 2 years. But it was hard to program for too. That didn't help. But Sega started to really, if you look at Sega or look at Virtua Fighter, because the Virtua Fighter 1 was also on the Saturn. It came out early, and it looks awful. It looks terrible. And they made another version. I don't know if I have it with me here. They made a redo version of Shenmue or Virtua Fighter on the Saturn, and it looks way better.
Oh, yeah.
So they started figuring out the hardware. But by then it was too late, So
I guess the Saturn basically had, kind of the same problems that the PS3 had, very hard to develop for. Yeah. If it wasn't for that
Sony money.
If it wasn't for that fan base, that PlayStation fan base, these developers, like, they had no choice but to make games for the PS3 because
they had no choice, right?
Yeah.
PlayStation didn't do well. We'd be probably still playing Sega consoles right now.
Yep.
But the PlayStation came out and killed, so.
Oh yeah, they tortured everybody, man. They still torturing everybody right now as I speak, man. Hey, 16.
There's not a bad selling Sega or Sony console.
No, the least selling was the PS3. Oh well,
other than the Vita.
Do we count handhelds?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Handhelds really for the
bad selling.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't.
Handheld either.
I wouldn't mind say come back with a handheld because that would be awesome. Like they got lots of 2D games they can put on the handheld. I think it'll do really good.
They came out with a handheld and called it Dreamcast 2.
Oh, damn. That would be awesome, dude.
Sega Saturn games. That thing would kill. That thing would kill.
Hell yeah. I would be the first in line. I'd be first in line with my side.
Allow, like the PSP did, allow video out, HDMI out.
Yeah.
So you can play it on your TV. People would be all over the thing. I know I would.
Oh hell yeah, that would be awesome, man. Sega, well, Alex, he said I'm a fake Sega fanboy since I don't have any Sega posters in the background. Oh my God, Alex, he is just straight trolling.
Sega died, console wise, 16, 17 years ago. So
yeah.
Have a Sega poster up now, it'd be vintage as hell.
that thing will probably cost me $100 for a poster. That thing's hard to find.
I know I have some, but they're in magazines.
They're in magazines?
I have in Game Pro magazines. You know how they used to put posters and stuff in those. And,
so,
I think there's a Sega poster in here actually.
Oh, really? So,
I think there's a Saturn poster.
I guess when Sega, when they came out and they say they got a dip into their old IPs, like E3 is around the corners. 2 weeks later, I believe Sega is having their own little event like they did last year. Oh man, did you see that Sega event last year? That was freaking horrible.
It was a mess.
Oh, you saw it. You saw it.
Mess.
You saw it.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Oh my God!
I saw one of it. I could see because it was a travesty.
Like honestly, it was the audio that killed it. The audio that killed it.
They weren't ready for prime time.
They wasn't. Don't get me wrong. The show was entertaining because that's when they had that singer that sing all the Sonic songs. They had like a little rock concert. I thought that was awesome and everything. And with the announcement with Sonic Mania and the Sonic, they didn't give us the Sonic Force's name yet. But I liked it, but the audio killed the show. It took them, I think, over, I think it was like 30, 40 something minutes for them to completely fix the audio. And I don't think they even completely. I don't think they completely.
It was embarrassing. You ever watch something and you like? You're so embarrassed. You kind of turn away, or your toes curl. That's what was happening with me. I was like, cringe.
That was very cringe worthy, man. Yeah. I was like, this is embarrassing. I was like, Sega, you cannot be this broke. I was like, man,
you got more money than that. You can't.
They add fuel to the
high school. That high school production, man.
Sega just added fuel to the fire with all these Sega haters. I told you Sega broke. Sega sucks. Alex, he was just laughing it up. I told you Sega sucks. Oh my God. I'm not sure if they have any.
Me. I can help them out with that stuff. They should hire me.
I should. Hopefully, are they having E3? I'm not sure. They have to have. They have to have an E3 with the stuff they've been doing. They have to.
They got it. If they don't have anything to show, I wouldn't.
They have to. They have to.
Well, they got Sonic, obviously. They got Sonic games coming.
I want more than Sonic. I want more than Sonic, man. I guess people in the chat like, is Sega having a E3 that y'all know about? I'm not sure, man. They talking about they want to dig into their older franchise. Like they have to show something. They got to get us hype. They got to get somewhat hype or something. I don't know. If Sega was still making consoles, I think Sony and Microsoft would be blown away in the crossfire between Sega and Nintendo. Well, I don't know about that. Sony still like Nintendo Ultra said, Sony always win, baby.
Well, see, the thing is, like, people always will love Nintendo games, always will love Sega games, but the thing is, the mainstream gamer wants those third-party multiplats. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't matter if Sega and Nintendo merged if they didn't have the third-party multiplats. They got to have that too. So.
Yeah, that's the deal. It's
They
Sega.
came with that. Then we can talk. Then we can talk about destroying everybody.
If Sega, if they talking about coming back into the console market, that's the main thing they needed to concentrate on. It's multi-plat, because that's what's selling consoles. Let's just be honest. Like Destiny, Call of Duty, and Battlefield, Assassin's Creed, Madden, NBA 2K. Those games sell consoles.
Right. All the stuff we're talking about, millions and all that. Really hardcore gamers will love that, but that's not going to be enough to take over Sony's market,
Yeah, like with Nintendo, like they got a lot of beloved IPs, but look what happened to the Wii U. Lots of great exclusives, but wasn't enough. That's why you need those multiplats.
You gotta have those. You gotta have the mainstream multiplats. It's not going to work if you don't have them. You can sell well. You can do well. N64 did well.
Yeah.
GameCube did. Worse, but they still made good money off of it. But obviously, it got destroyed by Sony in both of those generations. So,
oh, Sean, he just made another Sega video. Sean Long, he's a Sega fanatic. If you notice,
yeah, he's a Sega
fan. He loves Sega. we gotta get him on, man. We gotta get him on. That dude right there, he talks about Sega all the time. Like, I've been telling Alex, and I was like, y'all always want to get on to me about Sega, but Sean, he makes videos every day about Sega. You don't say nothing to him.
He made a good point in his last video. He was talking about, what hurt Sega, and I think he was right about this. The one thing that brought Sega to the forefront was the arcade and being able to have an arcade experience at home. But around 2001, that whole thing wasn't as cool anymore. Who cared about arcades at home? All these consoles were really powerful, and none of that mattered as much anymore. Arcades were dying off, but Sega is a arcade company. Like I said, even Sonic has a timer. It's a racing game in some aspects. It's an arcade game.
Yep.
And most of Sega's biggest franchises are arcade style games, Crazy Taxis and
Jet Set Radio, and House
even
of the
Panzer
Dead.
Dragoon. Yeah, House of the Dead. These are all arcade games.
Did you ever play?
The fact that arcade died.
Did you ever play Zombie Revenge? Did you play Zombie Revenge on the Dreamcast?
Yeah, I played Zombie Revenge. I have it. Yeah, I have it on Dreamcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I still got it too, man. I love the game. Like, even though the voice acting was cheesy, all that shit was cheesy. But I just love the shoot 'em up and brawl.
It's cheesy now.
It's cheesy now, but
we didn't.
I had fun with it. Like, it was real fun playing with my brother. Like, I love games like that, man. Yeah. Stuff like that. I think it'll do well on Nintendo's consoles. I think it would.
Yeah, I think the Neo Geo stuff has proven that.
Oh yeah.
Arcade classics type of games do well.
Yeah, I heard Neo Geo games are selling well on the Switch.
Oh yeah, Neo Geo are selling really well on Switch. And we talked about it off air before we started, was that, and I think I said this before in a video, the Switch would do well to have a Sega Dreamcast and a Sega Saturn virtual console. I mean, that would be
awesome,
unbelievable.
You know how long I've been forget the amazing. Collecting, a stall. Like, I want to collect that, but honestly, I want to play it. I want to finish it.
Just want to play it.
I just want to play it. Like, it's so many games I actually want to play. I don't know, man. I don't know why. I guess it's hard to emulate it.
I have a loose copy. I can send that to you if you want to play that.
Oh, you got a loose copy?
I think I have a loose copy somewhere.
Yeah, if you do, yeah, let me know, man. Like, I actually want to play the game. Like,
it's a great game.
I think I'm trying to remember what stage it was. I just couldn't beat it. I know that little bat with the big ass eye. I think I passed that one. It was probably the boss after that I couldn't pass. Damn.
It's really tough.
Yeah, it gets
pretty
real
quickly
hard.
too.
It gets real hard, man. That game is, oh my god. It's like, even in today's standards, like the graphics, the soundtrack, like, it works really well on the Nintendo console. I would love for that game.
Would fit right in. Like, it reminds me of, like, what's that? Freedom Planet.
Oh yeah, Freedom Planet.
It kind of has that art style a little bit.
Yeah.
I think a stall looks way better, but I think Freedom Planet took some ideas from a stall.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous, man. It's one of the best 2D games I've ever played. And visually impressive, and audio is, again, I used to sit back, I don't know if a lot of people did this, but I would just sit back and listen to CDs on my TV through my Saturn all the time.
Yep.
They had a really cool CD player on there.
I might have to get into PC gaming because Sega they're excited about the sales of Bayonetta. The sales came in. They say they sold over 170,000 copies of Bayonetta for the PC. That's real good because Bayonetta came out how many years ago? That's old.
2009 was the
2000. Dang, that's like damn. That's not damn near 10 years. So yeah, I'm really thinking about.
Wait a minute, no. Yeah, it was 2009. I think it was the fall.
So it was fall 2009.
2009. Yeah.
So I'm really thinking about getting to PC because Alex he keep on freaking just fanboying out because he playing at 60 frames per second. I'm kind of jealous, man. I really want to play those.
I think I'm at the button. You don't have a PC?
Nah, I don't have a PC. Nah, just this laptop. I thought about getting.
I think I'm at the cop that.
Yeah, if Sega talking about getting to the PC market, man, I might have to get a PC. Like I've been thinking about getting a PC because this whole Scorpio talk, and with this whole parity stuff that's going on right now, I'm like, man, forget it. Like I'm just get a PC. I get to set my settings the way I want. Play online at 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, however I want to play this. Free online. I ain't got to pay no subscription. So I'm thinking about all that. Thinking about how this.
I have a PC and it's a fairly powerful one. I'm sure a lot of PC gamers would be like, you play it, you you're using your PC wrong. Because I mostly play like old PC games on it and like indie games mostly.
Basically,
I haven't really bought too many multi-plats on it. Or like newer games. But I'm definitely gonna get. I want to get Doom on it.
Oh, I would love. Oh, did you play Doom yet on PlayStation or Xbox?
I played the demo on my PC.
Dude,
I never ended up buying it.
Dude, play it.
It's
Doom
pretty damn good.
Is the best shooter this generation. If you want to talk about the single player, that's like the best single player shooter this generation. That game is so awesome that I rebought it on my PlayStation. I played it first on the Xbox, and I was like, man, you know what? It's on sale for $20. I bought it on my PlayStation. That game is awesome, dude. The sound.
I'm gonna get that on PC.
You already know the soundtrack is awesome. That soundtrack was wonderful. I loved it. I'm not into rock music, but that rock music, it fits perfect with that game. I was like, man, this is awesome, man. As a matter of fact, I think that they won an award for having the best music soundtrack. I think. Did it? I think they did. At the video game awards.
Was it up for Game of the Year? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I think it got flubbed, and it was like, really?
Nah, I don't think it was in the conversation Game of the Year, but it wasn't. It was in the shooter. I think it was in the shooter category. I don't think they won. I know Overwatch won the Game of the Year, but who won the shooter Game of the Year? I think maybe Overwatch won that one. Maybe I can help me out in the chat.
Overwatch.
Y'all help me out in the chat. I'm still salty about Overwatch. That shouldn't have won Game of the Year.
Maybe it was Doom.
It was probably Doom.
I don't really follow. Yeah, Doom won something. I think
I don't really follow. It won the best soundtrack. That's what it was. The best soundtrack.
Okay,
that's what it was. But yeah, man, you had to play Doom, man. That game is awesome. I know.
I played the demo. I loved it, so I just never got around to buying it.
Like as you get close to beating the game, like the boss battles, man, it gets very insane. It's fun though. I love it, man.
I mean, I've been a fan of Doom for a long time. Obviously, I traded Earthbound for Super Nintendo. I can't believe
you ain't letting them go.
I just remember, that red cartridge, man. I was like, so cool.
Oh man,
it's a red Super Nintendo cartridge, and I thought that was so cool. And dude's like, "You want to trade me Doom for Earthbound?" It's like, yeah, I already beat it. And I'm like, all right. And now I'm like, what the hell was I doing? What the hell was I thinking?
So
I can buy Doom Super Nintendo for like 20 cents now, probably.
So I guess if you want to go down the list as far as the Sega IPs, like as far as the genres like sports and JRPGs and just genres in general, which one do you think it would work perfect right now in today's industry as far as their genres? Like which one of these games you think it will do good? Because they got a lot of genres. They have everything. Hack and slash, they have everything.
That is a tough call. Like,
they got Styles of Arcadia.
I want to focus on like games that would already, that you wouldn't have to like redesign or revamp. So I'm gonna try to stick to the 3D era.
The 3D era
of the Sega games, yeah, because I think those would be the easiest to convert. Because Sega still hasn't, in my opinion, they haven't converted Sonic to 3D very well. Still, so
the Adventure series was good. It's just after Adventures 2,
good.
I don't know why they changed.
It was wonky. The controls were a little wonky. The camera.
Well, yeah. Hey, if you think about it today, it's wonky, but back then it was innovative. Basically, I had fun with it when I was.
I love the Sonic Adventure games. Don't get me wrong. I love them, but they didn't make the transition as good as Mario did to 3D. Basically,
oh yeah,
that's where my standard is. Like Mario 64 was a great transition from the 2D Mario games.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, didn't make that strong of a transition, and it should have. But
so when is Eurogamer 27 going to change his name to Sega Gamer 27? Oh my God, I'm trying not to read this chat, man. Just so many trolls, man. Nah, it's just funny, man.
So I thought you was a Nintendo fanboy, Mr. T. What's all this Sega talk?
I'm just a fan in general of gaming. Like I've been saying this for the longest. You know, the Sega console was my first console, so you know, I was born into the Sega family because my uncles, they got me into they bought me my first Genesis, Sega CD, and Saturn. They bought all that for me, and my parents bought me the Dreamcast. And my uncle.
See, here's my thing. I should do a video on this too. I will always respect and love Sega and Nintendo and even Atari to a certain extent more than I ever will a Sony or Xbox, because Nintendo came in. That's all they were. It's games. It's video games. They weren't some big company before that. Same thing with Sega. Sega was a video game company. Obviously they did other things back in the 70s, and you know, Nintendo was a card company, trading card, and they made toys. But to me, that was still in the same realm. They weren't some big. Sony was a big electronics company.
Oh yeah, so they already had money. They already had money.
They already had all that brand. Yeah, to me they didn't pay the same dues as Nintendo and Sega did. So that's why I will always love Sega and Nintendo. Put them on a higher echelon because of that. So, you know, if you have a problem with that, I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, before
Atari, like you said, Atari.
Before Sega came to the console market, I think that they did pachinko machines and arcades before they came into
it was still gaming, you know, it was still gaming related. And nobody knew what Sega was when they were making that stuff. But people knew Sony forever. Sony was a huge electronics company. When I was in high school, every kid I knew had the thing to do was to ride around on your bike with a Sony little cassette player on your shoulder. That was a cool thing to do, and to slow your tape down so you could play slow down music. That was a thing back in the day. I don't know if you know about that, but people would do little modifications to their Sony tape decks. Slow the beat, slows down. That was like a cool thing back. I never got into that, but
that's probably before my time on that. That was before my time.
Yeah, that was like mid '90s.
Mid '90s, I was probably
like people knew Sony. Sony was a big movie or not movie.
That too.
It did movies, duh.
Yeah.
Columbia Pictures. They had Columbia Records. They were a big company.
That's when their electronics was actually
with
selling.
A console, it was just like, okay, everybody knows who they are. Same thing with Microsoft. When they came out the Xbox. Microsoft was a huge company already.
Yep.
So I would never give them the same respect that I give Nintendo and Sega because of that. They came in video games. That's all you knew.
Yep.
So they didn't pay the same dues that my boys Sega and Nintendo did. So that's why I'm always be a bigger fanboy.
I understand. Like, yeah, man. Like you say, they was already a multi-billion-dollar company before they transitioned to being a video game company. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it's like Nintendo, Sega. They had to freaking scrap from the bottom.
They had to scrap.
That's what it was.
Especially Nintendo scraped and scrapped, especially because, like I said, the market was dead in North America for video games. Retailers would not carry your game console. They didn't care. And Nintendo's they went door to door basically and made you buy. You know, they pitched you well. They hired all these American dudes like Peter, what's his name, Peter Main, and those guys were ruthless. Those guys were gangsters back then.
Mm-hmm.
So
That is true.
They worked their asses off to get what they had, and that's why I always respect them more. So.
I guess before we get to the questions, I guess as far as games and everything, like when it comes to JRPGs, Sega they have really good JRPGs, like like Shining Force, Skies of Arcadia, Phantasy Star. They got really good JRPGs. And you want to talk about like hack and slash games, like Shinobi. It's not really a hack and slash game. Like it can be, but
it's not really.
It can
There's
be
a lot of platforming elements.
Yeah, it's platforming elements, but we really hadn't really got a real Shinobi. I know there was a Shinobi game on the PS2, but it wasn't that one that I actually.
Oh, it was not good. I remember that. It was trash.
Yeah, like it could be a lot better. Like I think they need to have at least maybe Team Ninja or what's the other one? Or Platinum Games to make it. Platinum. If they get one of those developers to make it,
perfect for them.
Yeah, it will be perfect. So I think Shinobi still can be alive because of Platinum Games. They make really good high quality games like freaking Bayonetta, Vanquish. The new one just came out, Nier Automata. It's an awesome game. I love Nier Automata. So they make really good hack and slash games. So Shinobi can fit perfect with Platinum Games. They just need to work with them. Actually, they do work with them. With Bayonetta and Vanquish, they do work with them. So that'll be perfect. That would be perfect.
They already have a working relationship.
Yeah, they do. Like Vector Man, the game is awesome. I love Vector Man 1 and 2. Yeah, so that will work awesome. Shenmue. We already know about Shenmue 3.
Beast.
Yeah.
Shenmue's a little different.
Yeah.
Because it has that whole movie kind of cinematic aspect to it.
Yeah.
And you have to put some money into it. You know what?
But it's popular in today's times. It's popular. It's popular now.
Yeah. You talked about Yakuza earlier. To me, Yakuza is the
spiritual
successor to Shenmue.
It's kind of like Shenmue. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
That's why it's popular.
Shenmue to me was like the fighting aspect of it, because it had Virtual Fighter. It basically had a Virtual Fighter fighting engine in it. And that was so cool to me. So
one thing about Yakuza, I kind of wish they had English voice acting. It's all Japanese though.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they had that. But yeah, you is right. That is like a spiritual successor to Shenmue.
And that's what I was gonna say. I never got into Yakuza, and I should have, because I love Shenmue. And I felt like I always would watch, see Yakuza and think, oh, it's very Shenmue-like, and I never got into the series.
Yeah, that's true. For some reason they keep coming out with these Yakuza games, so it's a popular series. It's popular out there in Japan. They just now bringing it out here in the States.
Whoever make Yakuza could make Shenmue games.
Yeah, that's true. So they have the IPs like I say, hack and slash JRPGs, and I guess Shenmue. That's and Yakuza. That's more of an RPG. So they have the games. It's just, do they have the willpower to do it and get off their lazy asses and basically fulfill that promise that they said they were going to dip into these older IPs. What's going on with Shenmue 3? Like, how many E3s we're going to keep looking at?
Damn thing.
Remember when Yoshida came out? Was it Yoshida that came out E3, or it was somebody that came out E3, and they basically thought
they dragged Yu Suzuki out there.
Yeah, and
man was in tears, and they begged for money. I'm like, oh, you're sorry. Why are you asking gamers for money?
Yeah,
the money to fund this man's game. He out there begging like a prostitute for money for his game. I'm like, this is embarrassing. I felt so bad for you.
After that, Kickstarter broke records because of that Shenmue game, and that's when. Yeah,
it's a beloved series.
And that's when Sony stepped in and said it was gonna help fund the project.
Yeah,
that was shady.
That was just shady.
That was shady. I was like, "Are you serious, Sony? Wow, that is crazy, man." I was like, where's the dignity?
I wouldn't money. I guess we'll come in and fund it too. It's like, you bastards.
So yeah, I guess Shenmue 3 still in development, and I forgot what was his. He said he wanted I think he wanted at least $5 million to make the game.
That's not enough to make Shenmue.
Well, I think to get started, like I forgot he said something about he needs a certain amount of money to do the Shenmue game he actually wants to do. I'm not sure if he got that type of money. I don't know if Sony backed them up. I don't know. It's been like 2 E3s ago whenever they did that. It wasn't last year. It was 2015 E3.
Was it? Yeah, I think it was 2015.
It was 2015. Did they even show us anything last year? I don't think they did.
Nothing on Shenmue last year.
So that's why stuff like that I don't trust
Kickstarters. All that damn money. They got
all that money. I swear, if they don't do anything with this Shenmue, like you got all these people, they're gonna be very pissed off.
Here's the thing: people didn't even recognize because some of these Shenmue people are frauds. They didn't really play the game. They just act like they were Shenmue fans. The thing is, when the footage they showed, that was Shenmue 1. That was like redone Shenmue stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like what Shenmue 3 was supposed to look like, or maybe it's what it was supposed to look like, but they had nothing really done for Shenmue.
Yeah, I don't even think they even started on
for all that money.
They didn't start on development.
Shenmue 1 stuff.
They didn't even start on development. So yeah, that was 2 years ago. So they might be maybe halfway finished. A game like that would probably take me between 3 and 5 years. Let's just be honest.
I was gonna say Shenmue with a good studio behind it would take 3 years probably to make a new game.
Yeah, it depends on how much funds they put into it, how many developers they got on. Yeah,
that's what I'm worried about. Like, I love Shenmue. I wanted it to come out and be good and do great, but I didn't like how that whole thing went down.
What about Sega? Can they put some money? Man,
he's an icon, a super underrated, underappreciated icon. They give Kojima all this love, and he can't touch Yu Suzuki as far as I'm concerned. So I'm still trying to figure out that Death Stranding game. That is so weird. Yeah, like
that's a weird game.
Kojima made one flipping type of game. Like he made, he did Zona Enders, and nobody really cared about that game. They act like they love it, but I haven't. But he's made one kind of game,
Metal Gear,
and there's all these accolades. And Yu Suzuki made these arcade classic after arcade classic, and nobody talks about this man, and it pisses me off. So
I understand, man. I guess that's just the popularity of Metal Gear Solid. It's very popular. That's what it is, and whatever it's like this. Whatever Kojima do, he can't do no wrong. That's how they view him, man. That's how it is.
Space Harrier, Afterburner, Yu Suzuki. I mean, like,
he did Space Harrier for real?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Space Harrier.
All those Sega arcade classics. That's Yu Suzuki.
Yeah, Space Harrier, it was, oh, you know what? Yeah, you is right. It is like a spiritual successor to Yakuza, because when I was playing Yakuza, you remember on Shenmue, during, whenever you go to the arcades, you get to play Space Harrier.
You get to play, you can play Space Harrier.
They did the same thing with Yakuza.
That's
Zero.
You
the same,
made those games.
the same thing. Yeah, it's in there too. I didn't think about that. But yeah, man, Space Harrier was a shit. Was it I think it was on the Master System. Yeah, it was on the Master System.
It came out. It started on Master System.
Then went to the Genesis.
Went to the Genesis, yeah. But I mean, the arcade is the best version, obviously. But,
oh yeah, always the best.
Afterburner is another one. I mean, Suzuki got some classics, man.
Yeah,
Shenmue, obviously.
Man, I don't know, man. Like I just wish they at least give us something this E3. Maybe Ultra. We didn't bring up Ultra Beast. Ultra Beast, they could make a game similar to like a Shadow of Mordor. If they could make a game similar like Shadow of Mordor with Ultra Beast.
Man, Ultra Beast can kiss my altered ass.
What? Oh, come on!
Like Ultra Beast.
Are you serious? I love Ultra Beast. I love Ultra Beast.
I never liked it.
Really?
There was I remember there being a lot of like buzz and a lot of like people talking about Ultra Beast back in the day, but I played it. I hated that game.
Are you serious? I loved it. I loved it, man.
It didn't work for me.
I think if they do something similar to like who did Shadow of Mordor? Who did Shadow of Mordor? I forgot.
That's EA published it, but that's
WB. Is that WB?
Is it WB? Yeah, it's WB.
Okay. Yeah, if they do something similar to what WB did with Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War with Ultra Beast, I think it can work. I think so. I think it can work. They can
do that with Golden Axe. Isn't Golden Axe?
Golden Axe.
Ultra Beast is more fantasy though than Golden Axe, probably though.
Yeah, probably so. I mean,
Ultra Beast or Golden Axe is medieval, but it doesn't really have the fantasy. I don't know. I can't remember. I thought there was some wizards and stuff in that too.
Man, this whole entire time we talked about Sega, we didn't talk about arguably the best Sega game or top 5 Sega game. We didn't talk about this game. Why?
Run it.
Streets of Rage.
Duh.
Oh, come on, what? Those Streets of Rage? Come on,
Don't you play Streets
man.
of Rage in your background music sometimes?
Oh, I played it all the time. Streets of Rage 2. That Streets of Rage 2 is the best beat 'em up game ever, man. Double Dragon can't hold a candle.
Soundtracks ever.
I love the soundtrack. Was it Double Dragon? They can't hold a candle to it. Final Fight can't hold no candle to it. Nobody cannot come close to Streets of Rage 2.
I would literally sit around and go to the BGE, the settings, and just listen to the game music. And my grandmother would come in there when I was this is when I was younger. My grandma would come in the room. What you doing, boy?
Yeah.
You just sit there, listen to the game. You just sitting there listening to the game. You ain't gonna play it. I was like, I love this music, Grandma. Check me out.
Yeah, I love the intro music.
Grandma, rest in peace.
I love the intro music. It's awesome, man. I love the music.
Yeah.
Like
the game is great. It's way better than the first one.
Oh hell yeah, way better. Like just look at the fact that the Switch gonna be an indie machine. Like a lot of these games can be an indie game from the Sega classics. You know, since the Switch is basically more of a pick up and play type of games. Sega has a lot of those IPs that we could pick up and play. We just got Wonder Boy on the eShop, so if they just keep coming, if they just come out and make maybe a HD graphics Streets of Rage 2, I would love that. If they make a new one, I'll be fine.
60 frames.
I will love that. Oh yeah, we need that 60 frames because every time when there be a whole bunch of people in that same scene, them frame rates, it gets bad. Them frame rates gets bad.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you got all these fans making all these, remakes, and a lot of these guys getting accolades. Obviously, the Sonic Mania guy got a job making Sonic games because of that. These are genres that are so
appreciated,
represented from these fan-made games. Like, where are the beat 'em ups? Beat 'em ups was a huge, genre back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
And I don't see anybody making spiritual successors. But beat 'em ups like that I would love to see that. The only Final Fight.
Yep.
Like those were great games.
Yep. Only people that does beat 'em up games is Sega because Yakuza is a beat 'em up game.
Yeah.
Yakuza's a beat 'em up game, and we got a lot of hack and slash games. I guess you could say that comes close to beat 'em up games. But as far as a brawler, we don't have enough of them.
I remember Square tried to do one. I think it was one of the few 3D. Big budget 3D or fighter beat 'em up games was it the Bouncer on PlayStation 2?
I don't remember.
Bouncer on PlayStation
I don't
2?
remember.
You don't remember because it wasn't very good and didn't sell very well. But
same with Final Fight.
That
was a Final Fight on the original Xbox. I did not like it at all.
Oh, was I don't even remember that.
Yeah, that game sucked badly. It sucked.
Wow.
Yeah, if you don't remember, that means it sucked. There was an Ultra Beast on the PS2. You know that, right?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I never played it.
It was trash. That shit was trash.
Like I said, I wasn't a fan of Ultra Beast, so it didn't matter to me.
That shit was trash. Honestly, since Sega stepped away from the gaming scene, their quality of their games went down a lot, dude. Because just thinking about the games that was on the Dreamcast, Saturn, and the Genesis, just about all the games they made was really good. And
but
well
they really
done.
Have any first-party studios. That's the main thing. They kind of started publishing stuff. They weren't really making games anymore. They were mostly publishing and paying studios to make certain stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I just want that quality to come back, man, because that quality been gone for a while. But I guess as far as the Sonic games, it looks like the quality is back because you're looking at all those trailers of Sonic Forces and Mania, this looks like the Sonic games we've been wanting to play for years, and I'm actually excited for Sonic games. These two Sonic games, even though I'm kind of burnt out on Sonic right now. But I don't know. It's a good start, but I don't know, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get to the questions and head out of here?
No, not really.
Yeah, look. Okay.
No.
All right.
The questions.
All right, get those questions, people. No bullshit questions. I know what y'all gonna say.
32X is a good console to collect for. They're pretty cheap.
Yeah. It's not bad.
There's not that many games for it. I think there's under 100 games for it. So.
Oh, that's not that many. Yeah, the place I go to, they still.
But you have to have a Genesis.
Yeah, I got two. I got the Genesis. I got the Genesis 1 and 2. I got both of them.
Yeah, I did too. I bought my first one was the 1. My mom bought it for me in '89, and then I got the 2 when I bought the bundle with Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I never got the third generation. I never got the smaller one. I never got that one.
Yeah, I never got that one either. Right before Saturn came out.
We got a question from Tony. Do you think Sega would bring Echo the Dolphin back from getting canned like chicken of the sea? What? Echo the Dolphin, we was talking about that the other day. Like, I think it could be more of an indie game, Echo the Dolphin. Like, it was fun back then, but how can it transition to today's gaming? Like, I think it would be more of a indie type of game. That's what I think.
Yeah, probably. I thought I brought my copy with me for Dreamcast. I mean, that was a pretty good game, but
yeah, I don't think that would transition well.
People don't want to play as a dolphin in a video game today. Like, that just wouldn't fly. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It was cool back then because it was about the visuals. It was about how cool it looked in the water and the speed of the dolphin and all that. That stuff doesn't. We're not awed and wowed by that stuff today. So I don't know if that would be a game to bring back, other than making it a classic kind of downloadable game.
Super Nerd said, "What's your favorite Game Gear game?" Back then I had a Game Gear, but I didn't really play as many games on there because that battery, man, that battery life was it was bad. That battery life was so bad that I went back to Game Boy. It was bad. Don't get me wrong, like the technology, the tech inside the Game Gear was far superior than the Game Boy. But then again, Game Boy, we had so many hours to play our game, we had to worry about the batteries.
Right.
That's what it was. The games I played on the Game Gear, I had Sonic 1 and 2, even though it's not really Sonic 1 and 2. They had a Streets of Rage game and Shinobi game on the Game Gear. I didn't really play many Game Gear games. I know I played the Tasmania Devil game on there, but not many. I was really more of a Game Boy type of person back then.
Yeah, I got a Game Gear and I sold it like within the first 7 or 8 months because like the batteries were just killing me, man. It was killing my pocket. I beg for batteries, money all the time, and I never liked the screen. Like, I remember wanting one because I could play this. This was my thing. I could play this when I go to bed and play it under the cover, and I could actually see the screen, unlike the Game Boy. That was like a big thing for me to do, and the ghosting on that screen was just abysmal. Like when you played a game and you scrolled, it was the ghosting on. I never liked it. It kind of made me sick sometimes. So I ended up like selling it.
The volume was trash on there. It was
garbage.
It was garbage. Now you gotta put that thing against your ear just to hear it. you gotta put some headphones.
Back then, headphones ain't like they is today. Like that was a purchase to buy some headphones.
Yeah.
And then I don't know about. Because the way the headphones were built back then, they didn't last very long because they were kind of bulky.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
the earpiece would fall off. It wasn't like they weren't earbuds back then. It was just those big bulky, headphones back then. So it was a different time.
Oh, okay. Would it be cool if Virtual Fighter 6 happened? Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Like, I don't know why they never had a virtual. They had Virtual Fighter 5, but they never. It was a digital download for some reason. I don't know why they didn't have the physical. I don't know what. I think it was digital. It started. I
had fallen off by then.
It started as an arcade game. It was an arcade before they put it on consoles, but when they put it on console, it was digital only. Yeah. But I think
the last Virtual Fighter I got into was Virtual Fighter 3 TB on Dreamcast. I didn't really play 4 that much, so I kind of fell off Virtual Fighter. It was one of my favorite fighting series.
What about virtual racing? Tony said, "What you think if they could bring out virtual racing?"
Oh yeah, I mean all those arcade style games would be great. I don't know if it would be a big purchase, like it would be a big game. Maybe it'd be a $20, maybe $30 game. But Sega GT, I'd love to see a Sega GT come back.
Oh, I used to play the shit out of that on the OG Xbox. I love Sega GT. That was a great game.
I have the double pack with Jet Set Radio. I have the Sega GT Jet Set Radio double pack.
Nice.
OG Xbox.
Should Sega and Nintendo do a Mario and Sonic RPG? That would be awesome. Fuck the rabbits. Sonic and Mario RPG. I think that would be awesome.
I've been wanting that for so long. I think I've been hearing about that.
That would be awesome. Like,
that would be great.
Like, I don't want no Olympics. I don't want that trash, man. Give me that. Give me that RPG, man. I can't believe Mario Sonic Olympics so well on the Wii, man. I can't believe that trash so well.
The early games were pretty good. I played a few of them. I never really bought them, but I've played some. They were good, but they're Olympic games. I'm like, I want a meaty. I've always wanted like a Sonic and Mario adventure style game.
Honestly, I think that will sell really well. To be honest, you got two mascots going at it, popular mascots.
I don't know. The Sonic fans, they fickle, man. I don't know if they would. I think Mario fans would love it. I don't know if he's so slow now, and I gotta slow down and talk to people.
Yeah, them Sonic fans, they're horrible. They're horrible. I cannot. Oh man, I keep talking.
They like their boost gameplay.
That's about it. How much I talk about the Xbox fanboys. Them Sonic fanboys are the worst. Oh my god. They cry about everything. Yeah, get them. Go to that.
I gotta get them.
Go to that most recent Sonic Force trailer. Yeah, they got a lot of views. I think that may be over a million right now. It just came out last week. Man, it was so much crying in that comment section.
There's a big following. It's a niche following, but there's some rabid. God. I don't know why there's so many rabid Sonic fans. Because Sonic games are so mediocre. They've been mediocre for so long, and it's just like, why is this huge fan base?
I don't know.
It's just weird. It's just like,
I don't know.
Like, I can understand Sonic games were all great, but they've been mostly not good.
The Genesis Sonic games was great, except the
Genesis Sonic games were those were great.
Except the spin. What was the name of that?
We didn't really have any Saturn ones.
What was that? The pinball Sonic game. What's the name of that?
Spinball.
Oh, the Sonic Pinball.
Sonic Spinball.
Spinball. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. Sonic 3D Blast. Right. I didn't care about 3D Blast. Didn't care
Sonic
about
3D Blast.
But Sonic 1.
Sean Long likes that game. He feels it's really underrated. 3D Blast. I think that's the one. Or maybe it was Sonic CD. I don't know.
I don't really care about that. Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic Knuckles was really awesome. And let's not forget the most underrated Sonic game, Sonic CD. We didn't. Let's don't forget that. That was a really great game. It's just maybe Sonic do better on 2D. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Maybe he just. I don't know. I feel like he could do good in 3D, but I just feel like the Sonic fans are so fickle. They won't let them experiment too much. They want boost gameplay. They want zipping all over the place at all times. And
this ain't gamer. He said Sega brought back Streets of Rage on the Switch, and Nintendo put some Streets of Rage on Smash. Who would it be?
What character? I mean, Cody, obviously, right?
Cody? Cody is not Streets of Rage. That's
Cody.
That's Final Fight, I think. You mean Axel? Axel.
Axel. And what's the kid's name?
Oh man, I forgot his name. Skates? Was it Skates?
Or the Skate?
I think it was Skates.
Is his name Skate? His name's Skate.
I think so. Yeah. Skate. What was the female name?
Yeah,
I forgot.
He's the younger brother of the guy from Part 1.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about
the cop from Part 1, the black.
I know you're talking about
Part 1. He's the younger brother of him.
All the time I played it, I didn't even notice that.
That's the most popular one. So anybody from that, all four of them, from that. Who's the wrestler guy? I love. They always have a wrestler, a girl.
I forgot his name.
Who's fast?
Was it Haggard? No, that's not Haggard. Damn.
Well, Haggard. See, you're thinking of Final Fight.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Final Fight. That was his name.
Haggard's the mayor.
Yeah.
Decided to clean up the streets. He's cleaning the streets on his own.
Blaze. That's a female's name. Blaze. That's a female's name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Matter of fact, my kids played Final Fight for the first. Not Final Fight. Streets of Rage 2 for the first time, and my daughter, she loves it. Like, she didn't too much like Golden Axe. They said it was too slow paced, and they didn't like getting beat up because Golden Axe is harder than Streets of Rage because. You know how the enemy, they just come at you in one direction, but with Golden Axe they go to surround your ass.
Yeah, they all over the place.
That's why they didn't like it. But Streets of Rage, they love Streets of Rage.
Yeah, Streets of Rage. 2 is the pinnacle of the series.
Yeah, my kids, they was playing the other day. They love Streets of Rage 2. That needs to come back. Put it in HD. Who did Final Fight? Was it Capcom? Who did Final Fight?
It's Capcom. Yeah.
Capcom. If Capcom came out with that, no, that's not Final Fight. I'm thinking about the other game. Double Dragon. It was Double Dragon. They put it in the HD. What's the name?
Talk about games that are expensive to buy, like to collect. Like the Super Nintendo Final Fight games are expensive.
Oh hell yeah! Somebody on Craigslist was selling it for $400. That thing's
they're not cheap.
That thing's still sitting on Craigslist 5 months later. Ain't nobody gonna pay $400 for that shit.
You just want to play it. I'm telling people, if all you want to do is play it, you're not worried about, I want to have the collector. Buy the Japanese version. Buy the import version. They're always cheaper.
Mm-hmm. That is crazy.
And they will work on your Super Nintendo. You just got to do a little mod, like take the plastic thing out. It's real easy to do. They will work on your American Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Your North American.
Okay, let's get a couple more questions. We're gonna end this. We hit the 2-hour mark. We don't want to go to the fuck. We don't want to go to the fuck boy mark. Should Sega do another Sonic Heroes 2? I didn't play Sonic Heroes, but I kind of got
Sonic Heroes.
I got a mixed reaction. Some people say they love it. Some people say it wasn't all that.
I like what they were trying to do. It didn't always hit. There were some levels that were really good, that worked really good with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, it was a good game. I like the idea of having the 3 characters and having 3 different abilities. I just think it wasn't executed as well as it could have been in the game. But it's a great idea, Sonic Heroes. I like the idea of it, the gameplay idea.
Yeah. The PlayStation, the N64, and Saturn isn't good era in the game. It was a good era in gaming because that's when they transitioned from the 2D platformers to 3D. But honestly, it's probably the least popular as far as right now. Like if there's it's the least popular to go back and play because of the graphics. Like I can't go back and play those type of games on my HD TV. It looks It looks awful. It looks horrible, man.
Yeah, it does.
You're gonna need
That's why I still have a CRT because of that.
I
still have a CRT TV.
Yeah, you need those tube TVs.
The big cathode ray.
You need the tube TVs to play those type of games. But when it comes to the 16-bit, oh my gosh, I love 16-bit games.
Yeah, 16-bit looks great on these consoles.
Like
TVs today.
Like indie games. Like a lot of indie games still use 8-bit and 60-bit graphics. That's just by a lot of these games using 8-bit and 16-bits, that's why a lot of people going back to the 4th generation playing Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis games. Because we're getting games like that right now. It's timeless.
Those visuals are timeless.
Kind of like Shantae and the Power Curves. That was a 16-bit game. I love that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really great. Yeah, like I will always go back to that era. But going back trying to play Final Fantasy VII on the original PlayStation, hell no.
Yeah, Alex was saying like that was a trying to go back and play like N64. That was one of the toughest consoles to go back to. Yeah, and I was like, no, not really. I love it, but I was thinking of me, playing on my, like I said, my tube TV. On these HD TVs, it does not look good unless you have unless you get your console modded. If you do that, or if you emulate, some of the N64 games, they look pretty good emulated on PC.
Yeah.
Because the textures are sharpened and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's a hard era, especially PlayStation 1 games.
I can't go back. I'm sorry. I can't.
They're tough. I play them. I still enjoy them.
The only console I can't go back to is a Saturn because they got a lot of 2D platforms. That's the only console I can go back to. I'm sorry. Only console from that era.
Saturn, it's a 2D beast, and fighters, like I said, that's what it's about. Saturn is about 2D fighters, arcade style racers, and sports games. And that's why, and some good platformers too. They got some, like a Stall and Clockwork Knight.
Okay. I guess that about wraps it up, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we head up out of here?
No, just wish Sega didn't die. It's sad watching or paying $400 for a Sega Saturn and then a year and a half later, it was like $99, and
Oh god dang. That's
three free
crazy.
games came with it. 3 free games.
Well, they was desperate. They was desperate.
Yeah, they were desperate.
They did the same thing to the Dreamcast. It was like $100. They did the same
thing to Dreamcast. Dreamcast went from $200 to $50 in like a matter of a year and a half.
They lost a lot of money, dude.
$50.
Whew, that was desperate.
You can't find a Game Boy for that today. Right?
That is so true, man. But hopefully, we'll get more news in the future with Sega. Maybe we can come back and do another Sega cast. Like if there's no more announcements, some surprise announcements,
something big comes,
something really big comes. Maybe we can have a refugee podcast, a mercy podcast, Alex. Okay. That's the name of the title. That's gonna be the name of the title. Sega Refugee Podcast.
Sounds good to me. Sega Refugee Podcast.
But yeah, man, I really hope they do something big this E3, man. Like they've been on it, man. Let's be honest. Sega has been on this past year, man. They listening. They finally listening to this time. They finally admitted their mistakes. So that's step one to recovery. Always admit your wrongdoings. Now I'm glad Sega came out and they said that. So it's time to act. Talk is cheap. Just start.
I gotta ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting Sonic Mania?
Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm still thinking. I'm still thinking because right now I have pre-ordered on the PlayStation 4 because of the I might get it on Switch too. I might download it. The reason why I got on the PS4 because of the I got the special edition. And I guess with the Switch,
I did the same thing.
Yeah,
that's why I was asking you. I did the same thing. I got it on Xbox One, but I canceled it yesterday because the Switch version. Because the Switch has the special edition too now, and I bought that.
Cool. Like the GameStop I was at, they ran out of special editions for the Switch, so I went and just got the.
They had them last night, or Amazon had them last night.
Oh, okay. I don't have Amazon Prime. I'm thinking about getting it. I don't have it.
You don't have Prime.
Yeah,
so it's $55 for the whole thing.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's not bad. They still didn't give us a release date for Sonic Mania. Oh, I think E3 is gonna tell
August 31st. As a placeholder,
I think it's a placeholder. I think this E3 they're gonna give us a release date for it. I really am excited, man. Just think, about me being an old school Sega guy, and I love Sonic the Hedgehog on the Genesis. I'm really excited for this game. I really am, man.
Me too, man.
But like I said, man, I really hope we get some more good news, some Sega news, so we can actually do another episode of the Refugee Podcast, the Sega Refugee Podcast. But Sega's still alive, man. They're not dead. They're not dead. They over there spending all this money on R&D and all that. They still got money. They still got money. So hopefully we can talk about them bringing back older IPs, and even if that makes new IPs, if it's good, I want to talk about it. Like I just want Sega to stay alive. So hopefully one day, if they make enough money, maybe we might possibly in this lifetime get another Sega console. Maybe
a resurgence in Sega. That would be amazing.
That's wishful thinking, though. But I guess let's go and get out of here before we reach that fuckboy hour. So before we get exposed in this community. So I guess do your intro. Get out of here, man. Oh, not intro, outro.
Yeah, well, had a good time. Had a great time discussing Sega. It was awesome. I know I can get long-winded sometimes. I'm really passionate.
Ain't no big deal.
I always have like long stories to tell because this is like video games is a big part of my history. So, and I love talking about Sega. They're just one of those companies I love talking about. But had a great time, like I said. Hope you guys maybe you learned something you didn't know. That like Sega is greatness. Hopefully you learned that.
Man, I got a feeling there's gonna be a whole bunch of Sega is trash in the chat. Sanic.
It's Alex's fault.
Sanic.
But he's a closet Sega fanboy.
Oh yeah, he is.
But yeah, great time. Thanks for having me on, man.
I appreciate you coming. Actually, I was surprised I got like 30 people watching. I thought since we was talking about Sega,
that's cool.
I thought we was gonna get like 10, 5 or something. But yeah, I really appreciate the support, man. I kind of wish I get this. I kind of wish I got the 70+ viewers to watch this. You know, I know it's my main podcast. I get the most viewers, but you know, it's a start. So hopefully, when we do it again, hopefully we could get more people. But I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think I would get this many today because I know some of y'all just can't stand Sega. So, but yeah, hopefully we do this in the future. Hopefully Sega have a good E3. Hopefully we can actually be excited once again for Sega. I really hope so. But I guess after that, like I said, I really appreciate y'all for coming in. Make sure you like this podcast. Make sure you subscribe to Mr. T. I will have his channel and link in the description below. And make sure you tune into Alex's podcast tonight. He got the Team Red Talks Nintendo, Alex Coupon, and Nia. So y'all make sure y'all check his podcast out tonight.
Gotcha.
And don't forget the Real Talk with the Real Gamer podcast this Thursday. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. We're pretty much busy all weekend. Don't forget Fuckboy Fridays. So who we talking about this Friday? Just stay tuned. I'm not gonna tell you.
Get
so
your
just stay
popcorn
tuned.
ready.
Oh my god, man! I guess after this, I guess I will see y'all on. I have a video. Matter of fact, I have a video. I'm not sure if I'm gonna release it tomorrow. I might release my video tomorrow. I did it yesterday when I did my other video. So I got a video with my E3 predictions. So I'm release that tomorrow. Before some of y'all talking about I don't take baths, I got the same clothes on. Before I did that video the same day I did the other video. So I will release that video tomorrow. And don't forget to go to the Real Talk with the Real Gamer podcast this coming up Thursday. Hopefully we can get the same 70+ viewers in which we did last week. And that was a record. That was a record for the Real Talk with the Real Gamer podcast. I really appreciate all y'all support. So y'all make sure y'all come back, bring some more people, share my videos, like it, and just keep coming back. We're gonna have fun. And probably next week I'm gonna start giving out some gift cards. So yeah, I like to reward people that basically that's loyal. That's just how I roll. If you're loyal to my channel, I will reward you. So, yeah, make sure you stay tuned, and I will see y'all guys on the next ride. Peace out.